Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess. And one time I saw a snake. Eventually, treasured memories like this will be lost, like tears in the rain. But do me a favor and hit that like button, or you just lost the game. Ha, sucker! And we did a live stream last night going in on the Holtzman's Guerrilla Survival, the Clip Point. I don't know why they named it that, but let's take a look at what we're holding, because it'll bother you if I don't, and you know I love you. So, first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's carry. We have got the gray G10 with the red liners. We have got a flipper tab. Let's flick the bean. And we got 3.5 inches of memory serves of D2 steel. So, this is one, it was a gift from Wilderness Bushcraft. We gotta say thanks to him for making this possible. I traded him some other stuff for this thing, but it was a gift. So, I carried this thing for the week, and I ended up really liking it. I fell for this thing pretty hard, and a lot of that is the looks on this thing. The looks on this are great. The build quality's great, the action's great, like everything's great. It does centrifugal open, but I can't do that under the camera because it requires a lot of beans. So, and this was a BattleBox knife, and he got it on clearance from the BattleBox website, I believe, for a stupidly good price. And, after the Revo Canyon and that Fox Edge, I'm like, yeah, BattleBox throws some garbage in their boxes. Oh, boy. But with this one, I felt like BattleBox did something good. They threw a good one in the box, so I was happy to see it. And, the one thing that I really didn't like was the $85 price tag for D2 on this one is nuttier than a squirrel's clogged toilet. It almost justified it with the build quality, but that's a high price. It did come with an extra pocket clip, a sharpening stone, a couple other accoutrement. There's a $2 word. But, the accoutrement in there were nice. It was a nice presentation, a nice gift box. However, Cardboard Slayer revealed some pretty big problems. So I went into this thing with the assumption that it was good D2. I picked this one out because I'd already had 3 absolute donkeys in a row. No edge retention, could not be sharpened, just absolute donkeys. I'm tired of seeing those. I am sick of them. So, this thing is advertised as 59 to 61 HRC on their website, which really, it made me feel good. I was like, this is going to be a good session. Apparently they're liars, at least with this unit. I'm going to go ahead and call the Pants On Fire Department, let them know what's happening there. But, let's get into how this thing performed. So we started off at a 178 on the edge sharpness tester, and I'll show you that thing in a little bit here. But it started off at a 181, or a 178. That's a good edge. That's a good solid edge. It's in line with a lot of the other high quality, like the other quality budget knives that have, good factory edges on them. Your Vostids, your Kaisers, your Civivis, what have you, Kajerb. Like, they've all had edges that around 175, sometimes dipping down to the 150s, which it's a really good edge. So that was also promising. Now, before we dive into this, we do use the amount of time spent cutting as our metric, because trying to count each individual cut. Words are hard, it's your fault. But, we count how much time we spend cutting. We can't count every individual cut, but, we get consistent, reliable, repeatable results, okay? We do get good results off this, and we're just comparing the steels to each other. I'm not comparing this to everyone else's test, so I had to get that out of the way, because comments will come in. But, we went for an hour. And in the belly tip area, I marked off where the worst of this was. And in that belly tip area, we hit a 434. We got back further into the belly, and we hit a 356. And then back on the heel, we hit a 228. The numbers on that are kind of troubling because, normally with D2, that's some fast edge wear. Normally with D2, we expect to be in the mid-300s after the first hour, not 434 in the worst spot. And at the second hour, oh, dear God, the second hour, whoo! We hit a 601 right in here, and then we hit a 605 and a 609. I tested a few spots because, that was surprising. 600 is a devastated edge. We got a 334 back here and a 501 at the tip. Now, that 334 back at the heel, that's kind of believable. That's in line with what we normally see. But that That's 605, 609. That is a devastated edge. That is stop and sharpen territory. The cut started looking like garbage. It was still doing the push cut on printer paper. I'm not sure how. Normally we get a big snag on that one area. But, the cardboard wasn't lying to us. So, and normally at the end of hour 2, we expect to be in the low 400s in the bad spots. At the end of 3 hours, we get the 500, the mid 500. Like, we get into that area, and then at the end of the 4th hour, it falls off a cliff. We'll creep up towards 600, that last half hour, down off a cliff. We have done so much D2. We know exactly what D2 does. So, we stop and we sharpen this thing. We dug out the Work Sharp Precision Adjust Professional. All right, we gave her what for. I spent a lot of time on the 220 grit. A burr never really came up, but I knew I was way past apex. The bevel got way bigger. It got a lot of material removed. Like, we got way past the apex. All right. We did 220 all the way up to 3000 grit. We did the diamond emulsion strops. We used Lacey's diamond emulsion. I'm going to link off to that in the description. But we use that. We went down to 0.1 micron on that. Fresh spray, everything. The best that we got was a 282. The best we got was a 282 on that, and that's bad. That's so bad. And then, we were staying in the 280s kind of across the blade, and so we broke out the Kin Onion grinder. I wanted to see a burr come up. I really wanted to push it because that grinder does some fantastic work. It does some fantastic work. You can get a crazy, stupid sharp edge off of that thing. Still, we wound up at 285. Like, that was just the sharpest this steel could hold. That's really, really bad. Like, that's almost as bad as finding out it's your fault your parents got divorced. That is some soft steel. The soft steel just won't take a good edge. Now, we normally can get D2 down to 120, 140, down in that range, down into really, really good edge range. The only D2 I've gotten down below 100 was that tack ray. But like the 120s, that is a fantastic number. I'm more than happy to see those when they come up. And this is really, really, really frustrating because you go through this, especially 4 absolute donkeys in a row. It's like, can I really sharpen? Like, what is happening here? And it's so frustrating. It ruins the whole night. And then you spend the rest of the night just trying to find something to salvage it. We did salvage the night and we turned it around and made it a fun live stream. But man, I'm so disappointed. I wanted to like this thing so much. I had high hopes and it left me questioning a lot. I needed a winner. I needed a winner after the last few and I didn't get one. And this may be a pretty thoroughly burned edge from the factory when it got sharpened. I don't know. I am not fixing to spend the amount of time it would take to hog off material layer after layer after layer to try to get the good steel. This was bad. And, this may just be one bad unit, an outlier that slipped through QC. I don't know. Now, I don't like this unit. I don't like letting the bad performance of just one sample spoil me on the entire brand. That being said, I couldn't recommend this to somebody else with much confidence behind that recommendation. This definitely rattled me and threw my opinion of the Guerrilla Survival's D2. It threw it off a bit. Like I said, this could be an outlier. We do get those once in a while, but just 4 in a row. Really? I don't know if like a bad batch of D2 got out there or what, but we've been getting a lot of donkeys. I'm kind of not interested in doing any more D2 for a while, which sucks because that has for the longest time been my favorite budget steel. But if this keeps happening, I need to move on to some 14C 28N is what I need to do, or some 154 CM. Thankfully, and not thankfully, starting at the end of next week, we are doing some super steels, and those, if they wear out like this, oh my god, we're going to have problems, and I'm going to be furious. And it really sucks, too, because this thing is really nice, and I was going to, this was going to be a gift for a manager that I really, really appreciate working with at work. The knife I've seen him carry is just absolute trash. Like, it is some gas station goodness. So it's like, I'm going to give him something nice. Now, I pulled the HX Outdoors rock fluorite to give him because that's also a really nice one. Not quite this nice, but it's still nice. It's just, oh, man. As much as I like the build quality, I cannot recommend this with much confidence. So, that's kind of what happened with Cardboard Slayer here. At least it did slightly better than the 3 that preceded it, but not much. It's just, and of course, back here, the steel felt a good bit harder than right here, which, again, maybe a burned edge. The heat treatment may have been wonky. Who knows? Who knows? Without hogging off a ton of material, we ain't gonna find out. So the worst of the soft spot stayed right here, and that's where where it's marked off with the worst part of the edge. And like you guys can see, we put a nice, highly polished bevel on this thing. Like I said, we gave her the beans. So, like, there's not much salvation for this. I can't go through and fix the heat treatment. So, yeah, disappointment aside, you guys know I love sharing with you what happened during Cardboard Slayer. That's what happened with the Holtzman's Guerrilla Survival, the clip point. Yeah, don't have a whole lot else to add about it at this point. So, all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so, so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We have got our live streams. We got regular videos. There's plenty of activities. Comments, I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this thing or the fact that we got 4 donkeys in a row. And as always, I'm going to link off to Cutting Lacey DC's Diamond Emulsion. Not getting paid for it, not an affiliate link, just supporting a friend of the channel and a small business. So, all that being said, y'all have a nice day.